Welcome to the fifth and final module.
I'm going to give you a few seconds to just explore.
In this session, we'll explore how the lesson study team used their observations to revise the lesson. Take a look at the revised lesson as it's retaught and conclude with a final debriefing session. Earlier, the design team discussed the first lesson in detail. Now, the challenge is how to revise the lesson to keep the good and eliminate the less successful elements. Overall, the team discussed specific tactics to streamline the lesson plan, eliminate distractions, and encourage collaboration among student groups.
I think the manipulative itself was sort of like interference in the lesson, I think they all understood. They were so involved in trying to get these to look like the correct rotation that they had. I think they all understood all of the concepts themselves. I think it was the manipulatives really got in the way, I think.
You know, they can see the color of the rods. Is it, you know, I don't know if it's something they need to actually physically color it, because they were so focused in on that, you know, and coloring it. And I know you said that it's exceptionally neat this time, but is that even necessary for this lesson?
The team also rewrote directions for the exercises and refined the closure of the lesson to include working the first problem together in the classroom. With revised lesson plan in hand, the team returned to the classroom, eager to discover the effect of their revisions. Afterwards, the team once again met to discuss the teaching session. Although the team hadn't revised the lesson's introduction, they did add a collaboration session so that students could discuss how the manipulatives might be used in the lesson.
None of them still picked up the transparency in that group, and I don't know why they were so reluctant to. Finally, somebody picked it up and said, "What's this clear thing?" And then they put it back, and that was as far as it went with that. So I was happy to look around and see that other groups were using it, because that group kind of really missed what that was for.
Once again, the team dissected the course of the taught lesson, discussing the relative success of the children in mastering the material. Surprisingly, and contrary to expectation, this group of more advanced students used fewer geometry terms than that of the other group. Some teachers noted that the interpersonal dynamics of specific student groups affected the learning outcome. In one case, a student who had correctly rotated her rods changed her answer when she viewed her teammates' rods, which were all incorrect. In short, the retaught lesson wasn't perfect, but that wasn't the point, nor was it expected. What was the point was mindfulness. The mindfulness of teachers watching the reactions of students to the very smallest of teacher actions or words.
I was watching the kids as they were having problems. You don't know that when you're teaching. You got 4 or 5 groups. You don't know the conflict they just went through to try to solve this problem. You get somewhat upset because they can't solve it right away, but you don't realize the little things that are going on. So I kind of appreciated being an observer for a change.
It was the opportunity to see the struggle behind a student's answer, to appreciate how these young minds grasp concepts, and to some extent grapple with the complexities of what they do each and every day and their effect on their young charges. It was the ability to appreciate those complexities and the opportunity to understand that there is no one perfect lesson.
I know I have 6th grade math, and I have this particular concept coming up very soon. So I will teach it the way we wrote it and revised, and maybe sit down and think about what I might change just a little bit more this time. So I will let you know what happens.
Lesson study. Deceptively simple, remarkably complex, enormously gratifying. For some, lesson study's most meaningful aspect is the opportunity to collaborate, to connect or reconnect with fellow professionals. For others, it's the opportunity to closely observe students and learn about how they learn best. For still others, it's the self-awareness of the profound effect even a single word or phrase in the classroom may have. Last but certainly not least, our teachers reported a new focus on their students, on how to improve rather than what to improve. The net result, lessons studied, lessons learned.